today's episode number 8. Am I right? That's number 8.
I think
Who
so.
cares now, right? Of Unleash Your Inner Badass. And today we got here Fran Lobster, Carrie Hyam, and Adrian Lindeen, and me, Kat Krasilnikov. And we're going to talk about something that a lot of entrepreneurs going through, and they don't realize that it's sabotaging their business big time. And this is when we focus on the end result instead of the process. So when we learn about this concept, process versus results, that changed our business completely and it changed our lives. So let us know when you are setting your goals, right? It's very important to have those goals, right? They drive us, they get us excited, they inspire us to take action. But a lot of times that end result is what's sabotaging us because we're so focused on that end goal that we miss the opportunity to focus and improve our process and celebrate our process and celebrate the actions that we take towards that end goal. That a lot of times, a lot of negative emotions get involved, right? If you, let's say, set even a weekly goal and you were going to make, let's say, that much money by the end of the week and you didn't make it. And then you're like, well, I'm just a loser. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good enough. Maybe I shouldn't be doing it. We get discouraged and a lot of us quit. So we're going to talk about what should you be focusing to get those results. All right.
Well, I mean, this applies not only in your business, but this applies to life in general and actually finding joy in the journey. You know, you go and join a gym, okay, and your instructor has got like this 6-pack abs and has got a body to die for, and you think, well, I'm going to work out now and I'm going to spend an hour on the treadmill or an hour like doing this class, and then you look in the mirror and you think, well, I look exactly the same, like nothing's changed. And it's learning to love that journey, to find the joy in the journey, to find the joy in it's finding the joy in the journey. It's finding the joy in the mundane, in the boring stuff that you do every day in order to get there, and focusing on the little wins.
I was just about to bring that up.
So focusing on the little wins and not thinking about the crazy big win, but focusing on the little ones and celebrating the little wins. And you probably heard Kat and I say this a lot of times, when you celebrate the little wins, is to really celebrate them, is to really celebrate it in your body, to jump up and down, to dance, to celebrate, to, not just, hey, yay, I did that. Hey, yay, I put a post out. Hey, yeah, I did a live video. I did a flipping live video, and woman. And we've spoken about this a lot as well, is what your mind forgets, your body remembers. And so it's so important to focus on that process, to master the mundane and to celebrate, the wins, and to recognize, like look back and think, okay, look where I was, look where I am now, and look how flipping awesome I'm doing. If it's at the gym and you like, I can now do the whole class without like wanting to throw up, yeah, maybe my body hasn't changed yet, but it's coming.
I think the problem is we have high expectations in
I was just going to say
our goals and our dreams, whether it's losing weight or finding the right partner or making money, launching the business, right? We have high expectations. And when we don't get there, we get discouraged. So me and my husband had a conversation about his mom, because she's trying to lose weight and she's tried it so many times, and she would get on the diet for a week, right? Or maybe even a month, and nothing happens by the end of the month. Sometimes even she will gain more weight and she would get discouraged and she would stop for like a year, right? Because it's hard on some people, it's emotional, right? And then she would do again the same thing a year later and again, and nothing happens in the months. And I was telling him that with her condition, when your body is, need a lot of work, it might nothing happen for 6 months, right? It's just adjusting to new things, new diet, new whatever routines. And maybe for 6 months, it happens on like cellular level, but nothing's going to happen on, weight change. So the same for our business. When we're learning the steps and the skill set, nothing might happen 6 months, nothing might happen for 2 years in your business, right? So that's important to understand, that the process and doing those boring, unsexy things, like Fran was saying, that's going to help you to keep going. And what usually happens if you stick to the diet for 6 months, let's say, or exercise routine for 6 months, or building skill set for 6 months, suddenly you will be like, well, I'm just going to do it for the heck of it because I'm so used to it. It's in my, already engraved in my habits. I'm just going to do it. And I have funny example how I was trying to grow my eyelashes for 4 months. I was like, oh, I already spent money on this serum. I'm just going to
Porcupine serum.
Yes, I'm just
Eyelash porcupine serum.
finish it because I don't, it's not working, but I'm just going to finish it. And I was applying it for 4 months without even expecting anything. And then people start saying, where did you buy your eyelashes? I'm like, they're mine. So suddenly, right, in 4 months, boom, they were out there. The same, like it might seem like overnight success, but there's no overnight success in anything. These people could have been working on those skills, working on those results for months or even years. So that's what we want to try to explain to you.
Yeah.
Having the goals is amazing and working towards them, but lower your expectations, right?
Mhm.
Have the dream in your mind, but focus on the process, the boring, the unsexy, the mundane, the things nobody wants to do, the things that discourage you, the things that make you like, oh my God, I have to do it again, until it's going to become second nature.
And
Yeah.
one thing that I want to add is sometimes, I mean, it's easier said than done, right? When you're the one that's going through the shit, it's hard to be the one that's going through the shit, and it's hard to find small wins. It's hard, and then when you have that small win, it's hard to even celebrate that small win.
Mhm.
And something that we beaches got really good at was leaning on each other. So when you're going through a process, just expect that the shit is gonna suck, right? Wading through that shit. And I should probably stop saying shit. But let's just say doing the things, the mundane things, it sucks, right? And when you can learn to embrace that suck and latch arms with people that are on a similar journey as you, it makes it so much easier. And they don't have to be close. They don't even have to be in your same company. When, we first met each other, we were all in different companies. But we liked each other, right? And we were friends, and we were all on a similar journey in, a separate company, learning influence marketing and learning these strategies. And we just kind of gravitated towards each other. And so when someone, and even now, still today, when we have small wins, we're celebrating with gifts in our chat, right? Like, and we make it fun. And when you can make your business fun, it makes the suck easier.
And we made our own gifts.
We made our
Yes.
own gifts.
I had so much time, so much fun recording them.
Well, and something I want to, touch on is, you might not be aware, is the emotional part of focusing on the result and how that can actually sabotage your business. So when you're focusing on the result, right, and you don't have the proper expectation, and you don't hit that goal, right, all of a sudden, what happens? Emotion comes in, right? You start saying all those things to yourself. Everybody was right. Maybe I can't do this. This isn't going to work. I'm not cut out for blah, blah, blah. It's a sign that I shouldn't be on this journey. Right. And so then that emotion, takes us a step back and we start questioning everything. Right. And then, our self-confidence is down. Right. And we just start to get into this emotional spiral, which makes you make decisions of maybe you should quit. Maybe, all those things I just listed. So when you're focused on the process, and when we learned this and we got really good at focusing on the process because we knew the process worked. Same thing as if you're losing weight, right? Exercise and eating healthier. You know the process works, but everybody's timeline of going through that process of getting the result they want is going to be different. So, focusing on the process in our business and celebrating those wins, latching onto one another because some were a couple steps ahead, some were at the same spot, some was, right behind. And we had gone through that, right? Those little wins added up to those big results that we had wanted for so long because we knew it was going to work. It was just a matter of continuing to get up every day until you saw the result of your actions, right? Which is not being an emotion. It's following a process. It's waking up and taking action. And it's going to get you to that result. So maybe if you're not aware, but maybe watching this will help you become aware when you're going down that path. And you need to give yourself a check and be like, oh my gosh, I was listening to these beaches talking about this. This is exactly where I'm at in my headspace because I didn't get here by the end of the month. And what might I do differently?
Yeah. And there's one thing that I want you to be aware of is that the people that you lock arms with, those people who you rely on, your support system, those people who, are on the same journey as you, make sure that their energy is lifting you up and not dragging you down. Okay. Because if you find that when you, and it's happened to me that like some people that I've been around, and I thought that like every time I have a conversation with them, I just like I have this negative energy. It drags me down. It makes me feel like I can't do this. I need to disassociate from those people and surround myself with people who are going to lift me up, who are going to support me, who are going to push me, who are going to, but also have that positive energy that is so important, because if the people that you are surrounding yourself by are dragging you down, you need to shift. You need to find other people to lift you up, other people who are going to push you, and leave you in like a positive headspace.
And this
Yeah.
goes to applies to people in your normal life, but also people who are building the same business that you're building, because you could all be together learning, right, strategies in a community. And there's that person or, those couple, of people that, right. It's when we get together to lean on and support, it's just negative, complaining, constantly. This isn't working, and so that those people can definitely drag you down.
Yeah. And when there's
yes, the people that we live with, it's the hardest when those people are the negative people. And that's the reason, even if it's an online community like we have here at Beach Boss, it's important to latch on to something other than the negativity. And here's the thing, when there's people that are negative towards your business, it's up to you to change that negativity. By getting results in your business, treating your business like a business, not a hobby. And sometimes it comes down to having that hard conversation of how these people's actions in what they're doing are affecting you, right? How do they affect you? And there's been times where I've had to have conversations with people that were close to me about that. My husband's had to have a conversation with me about it. Once upon a time, I was the negative spouse, right? I was the one that was negative, and he was the one that wanted to grow this business. And so when you have, like, for people who love you, when you come to them and you're coming from a place of like I'm hurting, this is what is happening, like I'm not attacking, it's more like, can we just have a conversation around this? You get further with people than, what's that saying that your mom says, Adrienne? You get more with sugar than...
Oh, you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yes, there you go. And that's the same thing when it comes to those that are around us. So if the people that are living with you are negative towards your business, Start having conversations to change that and start taking action to get those results. And by getting those results, you have to focus on the process. It all flows together, right? By focusing on that process to get the results. Share your little wins with your family. You know, sometimes they're thinking, well, you're not a millionaire yet. You said you were going to be a millionaire with this thing. But if you can show them, look, I'm attracting people to me. Look, I enrolled my first customer. Look, I enrolled my first distributor. I just rank advanced. Like, have those teeny wins along the way. Celebrate, have them celebrate it with you. And I love it. One of my uplines, I was going to say, one of my uplines, what back in the day, what he used to do was when his wife wanted something like a new pair of shoes or something for the house, he would hand him his specific card with the money that he would make from the MLM business, from the network marketing business. And that was what she started buying that stuff with. She didn't know where the money came from. And she'd be like, it's not coming out of the account. Like, where does it come from? And he'd be like, oh, that's the side business that I've been working on. It just bought your pair of shoes. It just bought this. And all of a sudden it changed her mindset, because she used to be very negative. And all of a sudden she was like, I want a Louis Vuitton purse. Go on, go to that meeting, right? Whatever it was, because she started to associate the business with the results that she was looking for.
Yeah. And a lot of times people who love us, they're negative out of love. They probably have seen you done similar things in the past, and they saw you not, succeeding, and they think, you're going to get hurt again. You're going to waste your time again. So it's kind of like their way of showing love and trying to protect you. I had to have this hard conversation with my spouse when he was doing those things, like, are we rich yet, right? when the money gonna start coming? So another thing I wanted to mention is, and you probably will hear it from us many times, there's no such thing as nothing is working. Like, there's no such thing. If you say this to yourself a lot of times, so be aware, this is the language that you use, and you need to be aware of it, and you need to change it. In reality, although you're not getting that end result that you wanted, right? And it seems like nothing is working. But if you look at the process that you've been doing, the action steps that you've been taking, there's no such thing as nothing is working. The fact that you did something for your business or for your weight loss journey, it's something did work, right? So you need to recognize your language. And if you say to yourself, nothing is working, you remember Kat said there's no such thing. There's no such thing. It's how you look at those things, right? And you need to learn look differently. So you need to almost like dissect your process. Well, what I said I was going to do, did I actually do those things? And when I did those things, what were my data? What was the facts? And that's what we need to evaluate our business on, or our journey, depending on the facts, not on the emotions, because emotions going to drag you down and they're going to make you quit. So it's very important to recognize those things and remember, there's no such thing as nothing is working.
Yeah. I mean, I know we've made some like given some examples about enrolling a customer even, or a team member, but even if you were to take it back even further, maybe you're just, brand new, and the thought of that is like amazing, but you feel like it's so far. Some of those wins to celebrate that we talk about is when your day goes to shit and you still manage to make a post, right? You still manage to go live or whatnot. Those are the things, right, to celebrate, because those are the little things that are going to get you waking up every single day. Okay.
I'm just going to share because this is a huge win. So my little nephew, he was admitted to Primary Children's Hospital in Utah here back on Monday night. And they thought he had meningitis. And when they did the scan, some preliminary stuff they did, it showed meningitis. So we were freaking out. We were thinking, oh my gosh, like I have a cousin who's severely handicapped from meningitis. My sister lost a niece. So my brother-in-law's sister lost a little girl 10 years ago to meningitis. So we were all freaking out, right? Like that it was meningitis. It's been 48 hours. There's absolutely no growth in the petri dish. So whatever they did in the beginning, it was a false positive or led him down the wrong path. He's being released today. He had a good night. It's been 48 hours, no growth. He's coming home. He's gained, I think it was almost half a pound since they admitted him.
And he's what? He's 5 days old?
So he would now be a week old.
Yeah.
A week old. He was
So,
admitted Monday, which
brand
would have
new.
been, yeah. He's a
Brand
week
new.
old, brand new baby. And just prayers were answered, you know. Ugh. Just so happy. They're coming home.
That's such good news.
Yes.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. I want to ask you guys, so based on what desires and goals you have right now that you're working on, what are some of the actions, the parts of that process that you're going to be start focusing on from now on, right, to get that end result? Because end result will come. That's like a law of, what kind of law is it? I don't know. When you do something, right, that will happen. And it might take you longer to be doing that thing to see the results, but it will happen. It's like you plant the seed, right? You plant the seed. You don't expect, the roses come out of whatever the next day. You don't go there and pull the soil up and like, roses, are you there yet? Dang, it's not going to work, right? You know that once you plant the seed and you nourish the soil and you water it and there's a sunlight and everything, the right conditions, the right process, it will come at the right season. So you planted the seed, I assume you're doing something. What are some of the steps of the process you're going to focus now? And it's not going to be pulling the soil up and checking on that seed. Hey, are you there? Why are you not growing? I don't have my result yet. I must be that seed not loving me, right? I'm not good enough. We do that all the time. And now with like comparing to the seed and the roses, whatever. It sounds ridiculous, but we do it all the time in our business or in any journey that we on. So stop checking on it. Are you coming or not, right? And start putting your energy into taking action and nurturing the soil or water your seed or whatever it is that you're doing. So, what are some of your action steps are you planning to work on, and what skill sets you planning to master? So, those are very important parts of the process: action, skill sets, habits, those routines, those
Yeah.
boring things. Like, what are the things that you're gonna start to focus on instead of focusing, oh my God, I didn't get a sale this week. My upline is gonna message me and say, hey, you need to be doing this, this, and this. Right? So sales will come, or weight loss will come, or that relationship will come if you focus on the process.
I was
Yeah, I
just
was
going to
gonna
put
say,
that one up.
because Diane says I'm doing all the things but not getting any action. I guess I have to keep doing what I'm doing by having patience. And Diane, a lot of this comes down to evaluation. So having a look at what action are you taking, looking from data, not from emotion, not from I'm doing all the things and nothing's working, but what are you doing? Look at the data. What action steps are you doing? Look at 3 things that are working. Look at 2 things that are not working. And then what one thing might you change going forward? Only change one thing at a time, because if you change multiple things, then you never know what worked and what didn't work. So, yes, you may be taking a lot of action, but then have a look at the data, have a look at what you're actually doing. All right. And then find 3 things that are working. Always, again, looking for the positives. 3 things are working, 2 things that are not working.
The
And then
major things. What are the major things that aren't working?
And then what one thing are you going to do differently?
And what evaluation does is it helps that action that you're taking become more intentional, because we can take action all the day long and we can get nowhere. It's by taking intentional action that we start to get results. So, like Fran said, evaluate those things. Evaluate and ask yourselves, is what I'm doing working? Maybe it's not working. Well, what's the reason it's not working? What's the 3 things that are of the major thing that's not working? What might you do differently?
All right. What is your main takeaway, guys, from our conversation? I see there's Crystal. She commented, I'm watering my prospects, commenting, liking, and sharing their posts. So, nurturing relationships, it's like planting those seeds, right? And the harvest will sprout and you will have um, what you want if you do those things. So, awesome.
And Pam says, I need to get back to sending my customers monthly samples. Was that working? Like from data,
Was that working? If that
Yeah.
was working, then yes. So, Kendra, I'm working on my life's post and being educational and working on being educational and working in my products. Yeah. So learning from things that didn't work, right?
Yeah.
Even though it seems like they did not work, they actually taught us something. So there is some wisdom in there and some data that we can use to take the next step. So that's why there's no such thing, nothing is working. Mistakes are lessons, and they usually have a lot of good information on what to do next or how to do it differently. So I never look at mistakes as failures. They're good data, good good lessons. Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's a wrap.
I think it is. We give you guys a lot of food for thought until we meet each other next time. So when is it going to be next time?
Next time
Next
will be
week.
next
Is
week.
it going to be Friday or Thursday?
I don't know. I
We don't
can't
know
do
yet.
Friday.
That's the
Have
beauty
your
of
notifications.
It'll be a
so you
surprise.
know.
a surprise. Thursday or Friday, we'll let you know.
I'll
Yep.
let you know. Awesome. Cheers, everyone.
Yep.
Bye.